Why is it that we don't hear as much about adult stem cells?
Well, I think we're starting to, and that's what's exciting in medicine. There's over 4,300 clinical trials on adult stem cells, and a lot of progress being made to use these cells and to create therapies for things like heart disease, MS, lupus, vision, when you lose your vision from macular degeneration. And that's the future of medicine in many ways, and we're starting to see data. So I think it's data-driven, and people just don't really understand that adult stem cells are powerful, and there's a lot of upside and potential, and actually progress much more so than we've seen in embryonic stem cells.
I was going to say, so there's more progress and more possibilities in adult stem cells than embryonic stem cells. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, well, I think, a lot of the debate started with Michael J. Fox. He had Parkinson's, and, you're treating symptoms, not...
And Christopher Reeve as well.
Christopher Reeves, right. And so, but look at the progress we've made over the last 15 years. Today, there's 4,300 clinical trials using adult stem cells and only 26 with embryonic stem cells. Well, why is that? Well, it's the data. The data continues to progress in adult stem cells, and we're all looking for the same thing, which is the cures. It's the way to treat underlying illness as opposed to treating symptoms.
Now, Monsignor, how did the Vatican get involved in this, and why?
Well, we explored the whole branches of knowledge, and we discovered that there are segments of the natural sciences, regenerative medicine, that we have to look at carefully and see what is going on there. So that's why we get into regenerative medicine.
Mm-hmm. And how did you get involved with Neostem? Because it's been like a couple of years now. How did you get involved with this company?
We are looking for partners that could help us to understand significant changes within natural science, within medicine. So we had some requirements, and we found Neostem. We saw that they match to our requirements, and that's how we start to work together.
Now, Robin, the idea of the adult stem cells is something that obviously, if you're pro-life, you really want to push for, because this is the miracle cure that they thought they found in embryonic stem cells. What is Neostem about? What kind of company is this?
Right. Well, Neostem is creating our own cell therapies for different diseases. So we have a pipeline of cell therapies. Our most mature is for cardiac. After a heart attack, 1 in 5 people who have these heart attacks die within a year. Well, how do you prevent that? So we're trying to create a therapy using your own stem cells from your bone marrow, injecting it into the heart 5 to 11 days after a heart attack to lay down new blood vessels and prevent worsening of that heart muscle to have a deterioration.
There has been, just reading a couple of things in here, just some miracle kinds of breakthroughs from adult stem cells. The woman who had her own, a new bladder actually grown for her. How is that possible?
It's amazing, right? You can take a bladder cell, put it on a matrix, and grow a bladder. We've seen a little child with a trachea. Same thing. It's able to take a matrix, put stem cells on it, and create organs. And the hope will be we'll be able to do this in the future for limbs and for different parts of our organs in our body, which deteriorates from a trauma or from disease.
Monsignor, we have a new pope now. There's Pope Francis. But it was Pope Benedict, Emeritus Pope Benedict, that really got involved in it. In fact, he wrote the foreword to your book, the Healing Cell. How did he get involved in this, and what, to the extent do you owe this to him?
Yes, well, since we were working for a long time to organize the first big international conference on adult stem cells research, we asked Pope Benedict to receive us on a special audience, and he received us. He delivered a special message to the participants. And that's why we have his words also in this book. And we expect also the new Pope, Pope Francis, to be maybe even more involved, since he has a scientific background.
When at the beginning, we were talking about how science and religion are often at odds, and that's, I think, the perceived concept from a lot of people in the world, thinking that science and religion just don't mix. But tell me about how the Vatican kind of has been involved in the issue of science as sort of an obligation of religion, in a sense.
Well, if you follow the magisterium, the official teaching of the Church, you could see that Church is not against science. And we really believe there is no opposition between religion and science. So a part of our initiative is also to overcome prejudices about this, and to let people know that they don't need to make a choice between religion or science. They can be good religious people and embrace science, scientific research, ethical scientific research.
And Dr. Smith, just anything that's going to come out of this conference, it's in April, the International Conference on Adult Stem Cell. Any new news we're going to find out coming out of this?
Well, we're hoping to bridge a gap, right? To take the gap that people have misunderstandings about embryonic versus adult stem cell and create a bridge and collaboration and have people from around the world understand the importance, the significance, and this paradigm shift in medicine. And we'll hear from researchers around the world, patients who have been part of those clinical trials, talk about open dialogue between religion and science and culture and see what impact this will have as we continue to advance.
How close are we to ending paralysis, the kind of things that Christopher Reeve was after, and also Parkinson's that Michael J. Fox was looking for?
We've seen some very exciting data. It's early data, but for cures for Parkinson's, that's the goal. Things like ALS, terrible Lou Gehrig's disease, and hopefully getting someone out of a wheelchair. So I wouldn't be surprised over the next 5 to 10 years we're going to see a dramatic change in how we treat those diseases and even diseases like Alzheimer's.
Wow, fantastic. I want to thank you both, Monsignor Tomasz Trafny from the Pontifical Council for Culture. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Dr. Robin Smith, she's the CEO of NeoStem and author of the book, The Healing Self. Fascinating.
Great. It'll be in the bookstores April 2nd in Barnes & Noble, and you could pre-order it at stemforlife.org.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I mean, I want